Now, as you guys know, I follow high school football sports quite intensely, especially as being a member of the Fox 8 Friday Night Touchdown team. But I will admit my heart, my biggest of hearts, is this college football action. And let me tell you, as a Kansas State Wildcat, I couldn't be any more excited about how things are going so far with the team this season. Of course, the Wildcats being undefeated, especially off of the greatest victories. I mean, if you look at it, beating Oklahoma, West Virginia, and of course, Oklahoma State this past weekend. So exciting. So the team is gearing up for a pretty electric game down in Texas against TCU. This game, I think, will be a really defining moment, like I find most of the games for the team this season. TCU, of course, being a very excellent team within the Big 12. They're not ranked, though. I'm kind of curious why. I mean, obviously, they haven't had as many wins as Kansas State, but that doesn't mean anything when it comes to putting a win on the scoreboard. As Coach Bill Snyder likes to state to his players all the time, any game is a game, a potential for a win, but also a potential for a loss. I mean, take the starting game for Kansas State just a couple seasons ago. You know, they had what should have been a relatively easy win for them, and it turned out to be quite a struggle. But the Wildcats, with the leadership of people like quarterback Collin Klein, you know, this guy, Heisman frontrunner, obviously doing so well. A little worried, I will admit, for a lot of Wildcats after taking a blow at last week's game in Manhattan. Of course, Oklahoma State, a little bit of an injury. Klein had hit his head into the field a little bit, and there was talk of maybe a concussion or something. It looks like things are in the upswing for him, though, and I imagine that he will be back on that turf as soon as this weekend's upcoming game. But boy, so anxious to see how the Wildcats do. It's going to be an exciting one for them. I just hope that if Klein is injured, it doesn't hurt his, I guess, contingency for winning the Heisman this year. Obviously, he's a front runner. We have people like Geno Smith and that one guy from OSU who I refuse to remember his name. You know, these guys are certainly very good in terms of the game, but Collin Klein is just a whole other level of college football athlete, and so I'm excited to see how well he does. Certainly, I hope he gets his little bid to New York and walks away with that wonderful gold trophy. So we got a lot on hand for us Wildcats this weekend. Every man a Wildcat, so excited to be a part of this university, to be an alumni. It's just one thing that I've never been prouder to be. So when I watch the football teams, I am just so anxious, ready for that victory. But, you know, this team, I think, deserves a whole lot of credit. I've been to the games as a sports reporter, as a photographer, and I've never met a more humble group of athletes. These guys are taught day in and day out to take one game at a time, and as long as you put your faith in your ability and into that team, you guys will have a great outcome. Win or loss, I think that those guys really are some of the most contagious and courageous athletes I've ever met in my life. So with that, I wish you Wildcats a wonderful weekend. I hope you come away with a win down in Texas and back for a couple more that are left for this season. Boy, this Wildcat team, who would have thought that they'd be undefeated as they have been so far? But it's going to be a pretty wild one. So best of luck to you Cats.